Good morning, happy Thursday, happy finals week. Yesterday we had the OMM practical and I think that went really well for me, and then I got my very first 5 out of 5 on the last OMM weekly quiz of this block. And this morning I'm on campus bright and early to do a final review for our physical exam skills final. My time slot is 9:45 this morning, but to keep us from cheating basically, we all have to sit in the big lecture hall and wait for our time to be called from 9 a.m. on. So at least I got a fairly early time, that won't be too bad. I have put on my excessive layer of foundation this morning because every time I get nervous or like a little bit stressed out, I blush really hard, and I don't want the proctors to be able to see that because then I just get more nervous and more embarrassed, and it's just a vicious cycle. So now they won't be able to see me blush. I have my white coat in my bag. We have to wear scrubs and white coat for this exam, which is the first time that's been the uniform. So that's a little bit exciting, I guess. I feel like this will be okay, but let's head out for our last review. Okay, overall, I think that was fine. I think I'll get a fine grade. I know that I forgot to bend my patient's legs for the abdominal exams, and I think I might not have listened to enough posts for agophony, but I think everything else was like sort of okay. They don't really give you any feedback while you're there, so I don't know, but I'm in my car now gonna eat the Chipotle that I got for lunch before our very last biochem workshop of this block. Alright, it is like 10 p.m. now. Came home after workshop, took a nap, had dinner, did a little bit of studying, and I just finished drawing out structures from 2 of the labs for this exam because we get extra credit opportunities twice this block in anatomy for drawing out the structures. So I just finished doing that, and I think I'm gonna head to bed pretty soon and get up and study again tomorrow. We have like open lab office hours tomorrow morning, so that's the next thing on the agenda. Good morning, happy Friday. It doesn't feel like a real Friday since we're going into finals week, and so this weekend is really just extra time to study, but we are going to do a little date night tonight as like a last fun thing before the real finals grind starts again. I did just park on campus. I'm about to head into the anatomy lab because they're doing like open in-lab office hours this morning, and then I'll stay on campus for some other finals prep, and I'll see you in a bit. Hello, happy Sunday. It is about 3 p.m. Sunday, November 17th. Some updates. Yesterday got a little bit derailed because I had a headache that was verging on a migraine, so I did not get nearly as much studying done as I wanted to, but I'm feeling much better today. The headache is more of just an ache. I think it is, again, just from stress and my bad posture as usual, but I did get up around 4 a.m. today to start on my Anki, and that is pretty much all I have done all day except for take a break to take Layla to a nearby nature preserve for a walk, which was so nice. But I have found that knowing my Anki is what consistently gets me the best grades here, even more so than doing like third-party practice questions. So I'm just going to keep going on that. I'm gonna head to campus around 5 to review in the lab the structures and everything with a group, and then that will pretty much be my Sunday. Alright, it is a little after 9 now. I finally finished going through all of the new Anki Do cards for today, so I have at least seen all of the Anki cards in that anatomy deck once, and most of them like reviewed and memorized. So that, along with the pretty decent score on the practice exam and the in-lab review, have me feeling sort of okay, and I think it's time for bed, and I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Alright, it is about 8 now. The exam starts at 8:45. I feel nauseous and nervous, but what's new? I have my exam hoodie, I have a protein coffee, my last minute study guide is already in my bag, so I think we're ready to head to campus. Alright, it is like 8 p.m. now. I cannot believe that we are done with anatomy for this block. I mean, hopefully, as long as there's no recourse exam in my future, but I'm pretty sure. But after the exam, I took a nap, ate dinner, went to an American College of Osteopathic Surgeons specialty information meeting about plastics and urology, which was very interesting. I'm getting just a little bit stressed out about picking a specialty and being competitive for that specialty. But at the end of the day, a good perspective that Jacob reminded me of is that I'm going to be a doctor either way now. So I need to just chill out about what specific kind of doctor I'm going to be because so many options are so cool. But anyways, I think the anatomy exam went at least okay. I feel fairly sure that I am going to pass anatomy, that there is no anatomy recourse exam in my future. And honestly, that is all I can ask of myself for this first block of real medical school and that adjustment. And with the end of the anatomy practical, we are through the worst of our finals, in my opinion. Last week, we did the OMM and PES practical, and both of those are physical skills that you do in front of a proctor who knows exactly what they're doing, and you have to be judged mid doing this skill. So those are really scary, and I think those both went well. I know that PES went perfectly, actually. And then the anatomy exams, just because anatomy is an insane amount of information to learn in a couple weeks. So theoretically, it is only uphill from here. I do need to start studying for the OMM written exam. That is tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So less than 11 hours from now. Perfect. And I feel horribly underprepared for that, but hopefully we can pull it together by then. Just got done with the PSP final, so only one final to go. Technically two, because biochem is an individual and a team exam every time, so sort of two, but just one subject biochem left to go. I feel mostly okay about the patient symptoms presentations final. I wasn't sure. I was feeling very unconfident going into the exam because Jacob yesterday tested positive for COVID, unfortunately, and so that kind of stressed me out, and taking care of him was time away from studying, and stressing about it was distracting from studying, but he's doing much better today. I've tested negative. I never had any symptoms, so overall okay, and I do think that we pulled it off and got a reasonable enough grade on this final. I have been very happy overall with the grades that I've gotten back for the finals that we have taken so far, so to the end for a grade reveal, grade reaction kind of thing. I'm gonna save that for the end just to be annoying, but yeah, I think it's been going pretty well. Just biochem left tomorrow. For now, I'm going to run to Trader Joe's because we have no groceries and I can't go any more days without eating vegetables. Alright, it is 9 now. Yes, I'm still going through lectures and making Anki for the first time for those lectures at 9 p.m. the night before the exam. Not exactly where I would recommend being, but the exam isn't until 12:45 tomorrow morning. So I still have a very decent amount of time, and a lot of this content is repetitive stuff that I have learned previously or seen in our anatomy course. And honestly, I have these lectures left just because I spent so much more time on anatomy over anything else, and also on the exams where we are viewed by our proctor, because those stress me out so much. And I feel mostly okay about biochem generally. I did my undergrad in biochem, so I think it's still gonna work out, but I am getting stressed and I am so sleepy, but we're so close to being done. I'm eating a Ninja Creamy and taking a break. I'm eating it with a fork because I can't do chores and Jacob is sick, so he can't do chores, so the apartment is a mess. I need to clean tomorrow, and I'm watching a Mama Dr. Jones YouTube video, and then I will get back to studying and we will pass this last final. Hello, happy Thursday, happy last day of finals. I'm just about to head to campus for the biochem individual exam, 12:45 to 2, and then the team exam, 2:15 to 3:15, and then at 3:15 p.m. today, we will be done with our first block of medical school, so wish me luck. We made it. all of our final exams are done, all of our exam grades are posted, and I feel so proud of myself. A quick overview of how our grades work here. I know that a lot of medical schools are pass-fail now. Ours is not. We are still on a regular letter grade system that is basically just like undergrad, where like in the 90s is A's and the 80s is B's and so on. And you have to average a 70% in every course to pass that course. And I genuinely thought going into finals I was going to end up with a C average for the semester. I had just accepted that I had to make adjustments throughout this block and that this block was just going to be about passing, and then next block I would start off with all of this knowledge that I gained about how to study here and have like a clean slate and do better. So I am extremely proud to say that I aced like all of my finals and ended up with a B average. I also just want to say there are definitely people who got all A's this block and who just didn't seem to stumble and struggle as much as some of us. And not to say that they did not work hard by any means, their hard work just seemed to work a lot faster than myself, for example, where I definitely had some trial and error at the beginning and didn't really figure it out till towards the end. And then on the other end of the spectrum, there are also definitely students who have to take the anatomy recourse exam because they did not end the course with at least a 70%. Anatomy is definitely the most frequently failed class here, which makes sense. It is just so much more information than any of our other courses. But if you do end the block with less than a 70%, there is a recourse exam the day that we get back from Thanksgiving break that you can take, and if you pass that, you pass the class with a C. If you fail that, you have to retake anatomy over the summer. So I'm glad that neither of those are in my future that I just passed, but it is like a very understandable thing and quite a few people are having to do it. But yeah, that is a little overview of grades. I feel so happy and so good and just excited to start the next block with a clean slate and to do even better now that I've kind of figured it out a bit. Thank you so much for joining me for this final season, and I will see you in the next one.